Hey there, you're watching Procurement Shorts, your one-stop shop to the headlines that matter in procurements and supply chain. Let's take a look at what made the news when you were away. The U.S. Federal Reserve's decision to announce the largest rate hike in 28 years could see further softening in prices of lumber. The commodity had been on an upsurge since February, a trend that saw greater emphasis in the aftermath of fears of scarcity given the geopolitical situation in Europe and a spike in the demand for construction materials in the United States. However, as of June 17th, lumber prices stood at $585.70 per thousand board feet, a whopping 63.09% fall from $1,464.4 in early March, just before the Fed announced its first rate hike since 2018. The central banker's decision to further increase lending rates by 0.75 percentage point just days ago could result in prices dropping further on the back of softening demand for construction material and a projected slowdown in real estate sales. Some analysts point out that lumber's return to the $530 mark last witnessed in November 2021 might be a definite possibility. Meanwhile, suppliers like the Weyerhaeuser Company, Georgia Pacific LLC, and the West Fraser Timber Company have all slashed spot prices. Lumber price tracker Random Lengths has reported a slowing down in orders and a pile-up in supply at mills across the country, even as quote-unquote triple-digit discounts have become the norm. Online wood product marketplace Materials Exchange has said that, unlike in 2020, buyers aren't stocking up on lumber this time around, which has led to consistent softening of prices. The €7.7 billion plastics recycling industry in Europe could be in for a rocky ride as recyclers in the country have reported a sharp drop in plastic waste. Availability of plastic waste is a critical component to plastic recycling, and its shortage, according to Plastic Recyclers Europe, is on account of a fall in exported waste from the continent in line with provisions of the Basel Convention. Further, China's import ban on plastic waste from Europe has also applied pressure on plastic waste exports from the continent. According to data from Plastic Recyclers Europe, exported plastic waste from Europe to developing economies has dropped from 3 million tons in 2014 to just 1 million tons in 2021. What has caused more pain for the plastics recycling industry in Europe is that the drop in plastic waste comes even as installed recycling capacity has been increased in recent times. In fact, in 2020 alone, the industry invested €1.5 billion to increase capacity by 1.1 million tons, marking a 13% year-on-year rise. What's made life tougher for recyclers is that prices have soared 20 to 30% on the back of higher energy and logistics costs. Moreover, supply issues plaguing virgin-grade material in the last 3 months has ensured that the demand-supply gap is only set to get wider. As China reopens, the country is spearheading a push towards semiconductor self-reliance, even as it contends with sanctions on its global electronics trade. According to data from industry body semiconductor manufacturing equipment sales to China surged 58% in 2021, as the country paid a cumulative sum of $29.6 billion to buy machinery, making it the biggest buyer of such equipment across the world. While Korea wasn't too far behind, in third place was another familiar name in Taiwan, which saw its own machinery procurements rise by 45% to about $24.9 billion. But that's not to say that North America and Europe haven't been trying to improve their manufacturing ecosystem. Semiconductor equipment procurements increased by 23% in Europe and 17% in North America, according to Semi, even as names like Intel, Samsung, Infineon, and TSMC set up plants in these continents. However, the supply crunch has meant that procurement remains challenging, with lead times going up to 10 months. The good news, though, is that the market is witnessing a slight ease in demand for non-memory components as manufacturers improve supply. However, with distributor inventories not fully replenished, the market is expected to see improvements in supply only by mid-2023, with extended lead times and price premiums on up to 15% for 2 more quarters. With that, it's a wrap of this edition of Procurement Shorts, but you can still keep pace with all the news from this space by logging into bureaulive.ai. Until we meet again, stay safe and take care.